How did I walk into my own house with my lover and end up getting handed divorce papers in my entryway in front of the building concierge? Why did my husband look calmer than I'd ever seen him while the papers said, effective today? My name is Phaedra Collins, and I worked in HR at a logistics company where everyone watched everyone. People say HR should be calm. I was not calm that month. I was sharp. I was tired of feeling like the boring wife in a boring house. Our anniversary was coming. 10 years together, 6 years married. Ethan acted like it was just a date on a calendar. He always acted like that. He liked rules, clean desks, quiet evenings. He liked being right. I told myself I needed more than that. I told myself I needed to feel seen. At work, I sat under white lights and listened to other women talk about their plans. They talked about trips, gifts, and surprises. I smiled and nodded like I had the same life. I did not. I had a husband who asked about receipts like it was romance. Ethan had told me he might travel for work near our anniversary. He said it in that flat voice, like a weather report. He asked if I could handle Mila's school pickup alone. I said I could handle it, and I made my voice sweet. I did not say what I thought. I thought he was trying to escape me. I thought he was hiding behind work again. I complained about him in the break room the next day. I did it like a joke, so it sounded harmless. Cassidy laughed first, and then others laughed too. Cassidy asked if Ethan ever did anything fun. I said he only loved his laptop. I said he was married to his screens. Someone asked if he even liked people. I said he liked controlling people, not liking them. I liked how easy it was to shape the room. I could make Ethan a villain with simple words. I told myself I was just telling the truth. I also liked the attention, and I did not admit that part. Logan Mercer worked in sales, and he had a loud smile. He was not in my department, but he always found a reason to walk by. He asked if I looked tired. I said my husband was stressful. He asked if Ethan treated me right. I said Ethan treated me like a schedule. Logan said I deserved a real anniversary. He said some men forgot women were human. He did not say he wanted me, not directly, but he did not need to. His eyes said it. I told myself it was not cheating if it was emotional. I told myself I was still loyal because I went home at night. I told myself Ethan had already left the marriage first because he left me alone inside it. That afternoon, I opened my phone calendar to check a meeting time. A reminder popped up that was not mine. It was on the shared family calendar. It said, Riverside 9:30 a.m. Under it was another block that said, Meeting, Personal. I stared at it like it was a clue. I assumed it was about his travel. I assumed it was something boring and work-related, like everything else. Still, it annoyed me that he did not tell me. I told myself he hid things. I ignored that I was hiding things too. When I got home, Ethan was in the kitchen cutting fruit for Mila. He asked how my day went. I said it was hard, and I sighed like a victim. He asked if I wanted to talk. I said I was too tired to talk, and I made my eyes look glassy. He nodded and kept cutting fruit. Mila ran in and hugged my leg. She asked if we were doing cake for the anniversary. I said yes, because it was easier than explaining anything. Ethan looked at me like he was waiting for my lead. I hated that look. It felt like he made me responsible for hope. After Mila went to her room, I walked behind Ethan and watched his phone on the counter. A message preview flashed. It was from someone saved as a single emoji, a plain square. No name, just the square. The message was short. I could not read it all. Only the first words, confirm. Then it disappeared. I asked him who that was. I said it like a casual joke, like I did not care. He asked why I wanted to know. I said I was just curious. He said it was nothing important and asked if I needed help with Mila's school form. I felt heat in my chest. Nothing important was his favorite line. It was also my favorite line when I wanted to hide something. Later, I went upstairs and opened the closet. Ethan's suitcase was still there. If he was traveling, why was it still there? I stared at it and told myself he just packed late. I told myself not to be paranoid. I also told myself he was probably lying, because that idea made me feel powerful. I texted Logan from the bathroom with the fan on. I told him Ethan was away soon. I said our anniversary was going to be free. Logan replied fast. He said he knew a place downtown with a rooftop view. He said I should wear something that made me feel dangerous. I looked at my face in the mirror and practiced a calm smile. I told myself I was not a bad person. I told myself I was a woman taking back her life. I said in my head that respect follows results, and I had results. At dinner, Ethan asked what I wanted to do for our anniversary. He asked it gently. I said I did not care, and I shrugged. I wanted him to chase me. I wanted him to panic. He did not. He just said okay, and asked if I wanted to watch a show after Mila slept. I told Cassidy later that he did not even try. I said he did not love me enough to fight. Cassidy said I should stop wasting my best years on a cold man. She asked if I ever thought about leaving. I said I could not leave because of Mila, and I made myself sound noble. That night, Ethan printed something in the study. I heard the printer whir and then stop. When I walked past, a blank page sat in the tray. He looked up quickly and asked if I needed anything. I said no. I acted bored, but I watched him. His eyes looked tired, but his hands were steady. On the desk, I saw a neat stack of folders. The labels were simple: household, utilities, bank. He slid them into a drawer and I heard the soft click of a lock. It was a small sound, but it made my skin tighten. I went back to the bedroom and lay beside him without touching him. He set his phone face down. A soft beep came from it, like a reminder alarm. I caught a glimpse of the screen before it went dark. It said, "Paper drop." I turned away and told myself it meant nothing. I told myself he was doing some boring work thing. I told myself I had time. In the dark, I opened my own phone and typed a message to Logan. I said we should plan the anniversary night like Ethan was already gone. I hit send, and the little check mark appeared. I fell asleep thinking I was in control. I did not know Ethan was already counting every step. The next day at work, I walked in like nothing was happening. I wore a simple blouse and kept my voice light. I did not want anyone to think I was nervous. If I looked calm, then my choices looked normal. Cassidy leaned over my desk and asked if I wanted to go out after work. She said the rooftop bar was doing half-price drinks. I said yes right away. I acted like it was just a fun plan. Inside, I liked that she asked me first. It felt like a reward for being interesting. Around lunch, Logan passed by my aisle again. He asked if I slept okay. I said I slept fine, but I felt heavy. He asked if my husband was still traveling soon. I said yes, because I wanted that to be true. He said the timing was perfect, like the world was helping us. I said I deserved one perfect night. He asked what I wanted for our anniversary. I said I wanted to feel chosen. I did not say Ethan chose me every day in his own boring way. I did not count that because it did not feed me. At home, Ethan had been polite. He asked if I needed him to pick Mila up the next day. I said I had it covered. He said okay, and reminded me about Mila's library book. I said I already knew. The truth was, I forgot the book in the car. Ethan kept doing small, helpful things. I hated how his helpfulness made my anger look silly, so I turned it into a flaw. I told Cassidy that Ethan used tasks as control. I said he wanted to be the good man, so I could not complain. Cassidy laughed and said I should stop giving him points for basic chores. After work, Cassidy drove us to the rooftop bar. The place was loud, with wind and music and people taking photos. The city looked pretty from up there. I liked how small everything felt. It made my life feel like a story, not a mess. Cassidy took pictures of me and said I looked free. She said my husband probably did not notice how pretty I was. I said he did not. I said Ethan acted like I was furniture. I made it sound like a fact, not an opinion. 2 more co-workers joined. One of them asked if Ethan was coming. I said he was away, like always. I said he cared more about work than about me. They nodded like I was brave for staying married. Logan arrived later. He did not sit too close at first. He acted like he was just being social. I liked that he played the game. It made me feel like we were clever, not wrong. Cassidy asked who he was. I said he was from sales, and he was nice. Cassidy smiled in a way that told me she understood. She asked if he was the reason I looked happy. I said I was happy because I stopped waiting for Ethan to change. Logan asked if I wanted another drink. I said yes. He asked if I felt guilty. I said guilt was for people who had choices. I said Ethan left me no choice. Logan nodded like I was wise. That look made me bolder. My phone buzzed near my glass. It was Ethan. He asked where I was and when I would be home. He did not accuse me. He did not say anything sharp. He asked like a person who wanted a plan. Cassidy looked at the screen and rolled her eyes. She said Ethan was checking up on me. She said it was controlling. Logan said I did not owe anyone a minute-by-minute report. I wanted to agree because it made me feel protected. I typed back that I was dealing with an HR issue and I might be late. I kept it simple. I did not like lying with long stories. Long stories had holes. Ethan replied that he understood and asked if Mila was with me. I felt annoyed. I told him Mila was asleep at home and my sister might stop by. That was not true. Mila was at home with Ethan, and I knew he knew that. Still, I typed it anyway, like words could change reality. Cassidy told me to post a story. She said I should show the world I was living. I posted a photo of the skyline and my drink. I did not post Logan. I kept him off screen, like he was a secret prize. Logan leaned closer and asked if I was scared. I said no. I said Ethan never even noticed things. I said he lived in his own head. I needed to believe that. If Ethan noticed, then I was not safe. When I got home later, Ethan was on the couch with Mila's blanket over his legs. Mila was asleep upstairs. The house was quiet, and it made my footsteps sound loud. Ethan asked if my work issue was okay. I said it was fine. He asked why I smelled like smoke and alcohol. I said the office had a small get-together after a hard day. I said I did not think he would care. He said he cared about my safety. I said he was being dramatic. He asked why I did not answer his second call. I said my phone was on silent because of work. He nodded slowly, like he was storing the detail. I did not like that nod. It felt like a file being closed. The next morning, I opened the shared bank app to move money for a bill. A notification popped up from the card. Ethan had bought printer ink. He had also bought a small USB drive. The description said office supply. Under that, there was a charge for a document folder set. I stared at the list longer than I should have. My chest went tight, and then I forced a laugh. I told myself he was just organizing taxes. I told myself I was being paranoid, like he always claimed I was. At work, I told Cassidy about the purchases. She said Ethan was probably trying to scare me. She said men did weird prep when they wanted control. That made me feel better. I liked when my friends gave my fear a story that protected me. During the day, I passed Ethan in my head like a shadow. I kept thinking about the locked drawer sound. I kept thinking about the paper drop alarm I saw. I did not know what it meant, but it did not feel like nothing. That afternoon, Logan messaged me and asked if we were still on for our anniversary plan. I said yes. He asked if Ethan was confirmed to be away. I told Logan he was. I did not check. I did not want facts. I wanted momentum. Ethan texted me before I left work and said he might be home earlier than expected later in the week. He said he wanted to talk about schedules for Mila. The message was calm, almost polite. It made me angry because it did not match the villain story I told everyone. I replied that I was busy and he could email me the schedule like a coworker. I felt proud when I typed it. I felt like I had power. When I got to the parking garage, my phone buzzed again. It was a short message from Ethan. He said he would be home earlier than expected tonight, and he asked me to pick up milk on the way. I stared at the screen and felt two emotions at once. One was relief, because milk was normal. The other was fear, because earlier than expected sounded like someone changing a plan on purpose. I told myself it did not matter. I told myself I was still in control. Then I opened the shopping list on my phone, and I saw Ethan had added something new under the milk. It was just 2 words, plain and neat, backup keys. Saturday came fast. I told myself weekends were for rest, but I used them for control. I used them to build my story. We met my family at a big family restaurant with long tables and loud servers. The place smelled like fried food and sweet sauce. My mother liked it because people could see us there. She liked being seen. Ethan came too, because I told him he should. I said it would look strange if he did not. He asked if I wanted him there. I said yes, but my tone was flat. I wanted him present as a prop, not as a partner. At the table, my sister Danny sat close to me. Cassidy came as well, like she was part of the family. My mother brought her smile and her sharp eyes. My father, Glenn, came a bit late and looked tired. Ethan greeted everyone politely. He asked how they were and asked about work. He asked my mother if she wanted help with her coat. My mother said she was fine and waved him off like he was staff. I watched Ethan sit down and fold his napkin with care. It looked small, but it made me feel judged. It made me feel like he was good on purpose. I did not want him to look good in front of people, so I did what I always did. I made him look bad with words. Danny started the topic for me. She asked Ethan if he was traveling again. Ethan said he might have some work things. He said it calmly, like it was not a big deal. I leaned in and said he always had work things. I said he treated family like a calendar entry. I said our anniversary was coming, and he was acting like it was a dentist appointment. I smiled as I said it, so it sounded like a joke. Cassidy laughed loud and asked if Ethan even knew the anniversary date. Ethan said he knew it. He said he was planning something simple. He said he thought simple was good. I rolled my eyes. I said simple meant lazy. I said he saved his energy for strangers at work, not for me. I watched everyone's faces to see if they agreed. They did. That agreement felt warm. My mother said a woman needed romance. She said she never would accept being ignored. She looked at Ethan like he was failing a test. Ethan nodded and said he was not trying to ignore anyone. He said he tried to support me and Mila every day. I cut in fast and said support was not love. I said he did chores and called it care. I said I needed a man who noticed me without being asked. I said I was tired of carrying the emotional weight. Ethan asked what I wanted him to do differently. He asked it softly, like he was still trying. I told him he should already know. I said if he did not know, then he did not care. I said I was not going to teach him how to be a husband. I knew that was unfair. I also knew it worked. It made him quiet. When he was quiet, I could fill the space. Glenn watched me for a long time. He did not speak much. When the food came, he asked how Mila was doing at school. Ethan answered with details, like what she was reading and what her teacher said. He sounded like a father. I felt a sting. That image did not match my villain story, so I turned it again. I said Ethan liked school talk because it was facts, not feelings. I said he could talk about homework, but not about love. Danny leaned toward me and whispered that she saw Ethan's car near our neighborhood on Friday afternoon. She said she thought he was away for work. She said it like a warning, but also like gossip. I made my face blank. I said she must be mistaken. I said lots of cars looked the same. Danny said she was sure. I told her she was dramatic. I said maybe Ethan was checking on me because he did not trust me. I said it was creepy. That was the first time I said it out loud, and I liked how it sounded. It made me the victim. It made Ethan the watcher. My mother's eyes sharpened, and she asked Ethan why he was checking. Ethan said he was not checking. He said he was nearby because of errands, and he picked up Mila's school form from the office. He said it like it was normal. because it was normal. Still, the room did not hear normal. The room heard my version first. I said I felt unsafe when he did not tell me things. I said I did not like surprises. Ethan looked at me and asked what surprises I meant. I said it was not one thing. I said it was the pattern. I said he made me anxious. I knew what I was doing. I was taking my own anxiety and placing it on him like a label. If I could label him, then I did not have to look at myself. After dinner, Ethan paid without asking me. He always did that. I used to like it. Now I called it control. I told Cassidy in the parking lot that he liked to own the moment. Cassidy said men always use money as a leash. On the way home, Mila asked why everyone was tense. Ethan asked her what she meant. Mila said Mum sounded mad. Ethan said adults sometimes got stressed and it was not her fault. He said she was safe. I waited for him to say I was wrong. He did not. He just protected Mila from it. That made me feel exposed, like my anger was childish. Monday afternoon, I went to the school pickup line. The line moved slowly. Parents looked at their phones and pretended not to watch each other. I did the same. When it was my turn, the office staff handed me a clipboard with a form attached. She said we had updated emergency contacts and she needed my initials. She did not sound worried. It sounded routine. Still, my hands got cold. I looked at the form. Ethan's handwriting was there. Next to his name was a second contact number that I did not recognize. The staff said Ethan had added it just in case. She said it was good to have options. I asked who the number belonged to. The staff said it was listed as a family member. I nodded like I agreed. Inside, I felt something heavy drop. When Mila got in the car, she asked why I was quiet. I said I was tired. She asked if Dad was going away. I said maybe. She asked if Dad would miss her bedtime. I said he was busy. Mila said she liked when Dad read to her because he did voices. My throat tightened and I swallowed it down. At home that night, I opened the shared cloud account to find a photo for Cassidy. A small notification sat at the top. It said a file was uploaded successfully. It did not say what file. It did not say who uploaded it. It just sat there like a calm little flag. I stared at it too long. Ethan walked by and asked if I needed help. I said no, and I closed the laptop fast. He did not argue. He just nodded and went to wash a cup. I told myself he was being weird. I told myself he was setting something up to scare me. I told myself I was still the one choosing. Then I looked at Ethan's face as he rinsed the cup. He looked tired but not lost. He looked like someone making a plan and sticking to it. I hated that steadiness. I needed him to fall apart so I could feel right. When he did not fall apart, I felt the ground shift under my feet. I told myself I needed one clean night, not a messy night, not a night where I cried in a bathroom and then came home to act normal. I wanted a night that felt like a prize. So I made it a plan. On Wednesday afternoon, I stayed late at work on purpose. I walked around with a folder in my hand so people would think I was busy. I told my manager I had a small people issue to handle. She asked if I needed support. I said I had it under control. I liked saying that. I liked sounding important. Logan messaged me and asked if I was ready. I told him yes. He asked what I told my husband. I said I told Ethan I had a work dinner. Logan said he liked how calm I sounded. I said calm was my skill. I did not say I was shaking inside. Before I left, I checked my phone location settings and turned off sharing for a while. I told myself I was protecting my privacy. I did not call it hiding. I said it was a boundary. I drove to a parking garage downtown where Logan said he would meet me. The garage smelled like oil and concrete. The lights were bright but still made shadows. Logan's car was already there, parked near a pillar. He stood by it like he owned the space. He asked if I felt guilty. I said no. I said guilt was a tool used on women. He said Ethan was probably home in slippers. Boring. I said Ethan would not even notice I was gone. Logan smiled like he won. Logan asked if we should take photos. I said no, not yet. I told him I wanted to keep the night ours. That was not true. I wanted to keep my risk low. We walked to a boutique hotel 2 blocks away. It was not a loud place. It was quiet, clean, and full of soft music. The lobby had a polished floor that reflected our shoes. A couple sat on a couch and looked at their phones. A doorman nodded at us, like we were normal. Logan asked if I wanted to hold his hand. I said not in the lobby. He asked why. I said people talked. He said I cared too much about what people thought. I told him reputation was survival. He laughed and said I was smart. At the front desk, Logan spoke first and used his confident voice. He asked about a room. The clerk asked for an ID and a card. Logan handled it. I stood to the side like I was just a friend. That lie made me feel safe, even though it was thin. As we waited, my phone vibrated. It was Ethan calling. I stared at the screen. Logan asked who it was. I said it was Ethan. Logan said I should not answer. He said it would ruin the mood. I did not answer. I told myself I could call Ethan back later and act annoyed, like he interrupted my work dinner. I told myself Ethan did not deserve access to me whenever he wanted. A minute later, my phone vibrated again. This time it was no caller ID. I froze. Logan asked what it was. I said it was probably spam. Logan shrugged and said I should turn my phone off. I did not turn it off. I hated not knowing. The no caller ID felt different than Ethan. Ethan was predictable. Unknown numbers were not. Logan asked if I was okay. I said yes and forced a smile. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself Ethan was not clever enough to do anything real. I told myself he only knew how to sulk. We went upstairs. I will not describe anything private. It was not about that for me anyway. It was about the idea that someone wanted me and chose me, the idea that I could step out of my life and not be punished. Later, we went to a small restaurant nearby. The tables were close together. The lighting was warm. Logan talked about how he would take me on trips if I were free. He asked what I would do if Ethan begged me to stay. I said Ethan would never beg. Logan said men always begged when they lost control. I said Ethan did not have control. I said I stayed with Ethan because of Mila and because I was loyal. Saying that made me feel clean. Logan nodded like he agreed. He did not challenge me because he liked my story. During dinner, Cassidy texted me and asked where I was. I told her I was at a work dinner, and it was boring. She asked if I was with Logan. I did not answer that part. She sent a laughing emoji and told me to be careful. My phone buzzed again. Ethan had texted. He asked if I would be home before midnight because Mila asked for me. He said Mila had already brushed her teeth and was waiting. For a second, my throat got tight. I imagined Mila in her bed, holding her stuffed rabbit, looking at the door. Then I pushed that image away like it was a bad commercial. I told myself Mila was fine. I told myself Ethan could handle bedtime. He always acted like he was the hero parent anyway. I replied that the dinner was running late and I would be home soon. I did not say where I was. I did not say with who. When we walked back to the parking garage, Logan asked if I thought Ethan was suspicious. I said no. I said Ethan was slow. Logan said Ethan might be preparing something. I laughed and said Ethan prepared for grocery shopping like it was a project. So yes, he prepared, but it meant nothing. Still, when I drove home, I kept thinking about that no caller ID. I kept thinking about the meeting personal on the calendar. I kept thinking about the file upload notification. Little things, quiet things, lined up like pins. When I pulled into our driveway, the house was dark except for one light in the living room. Ethan's car was there. I sat for a moment and watched the front window. Inside, Ethan moved through the living room slowly. He did not look frantic, he looked steady. He walked to the kitchen and put a mug on the counter. Then he put another mug far from it. like he was building distance with objects. I walked in and tried to sound normal. Ethan asked if my dinner went okay. I said it was fine and I was tired. He asked if I wanted tea. I said no. He did not smell me or check my eyes like a jealous man. He did not demand my phone. He just looked at me and asked if I remembered Mila's library book for tomorrow. I said yes, even though I did not. That calm made me itch. I wanted a fight because a fight would prove he cared. Without a fight, I had to sit with the idea that he might be done. I went upstairs and saw the guest room door slightly open. The bed looked like someone had sat on it. The blanket had a crease across the middle. I stopped in the hallway and listened. Ethan was in the study downstairs. I heard the soft click of the locked drawer again. The sound was small, but it landed hard in me. I walked into our bedroom and opened my closet to put away my jacket. Ethan's suitcase was still there, untouched, but next to it, a small bag was gone, the one he used for overnight stays. My heart started to beat too fast. I told myself it meant nothing. Maybe he already moved it to the car. Maybe he planned to pack later. I could explain anything if I tried hard enough. Ethan came upstairs after a while. He asked if I was going to check on Mila. I said Mila was asleep and I did not want to wake her. He said okay, and sat on the edge of the bed without touching me. He asked if we could talk about the weekend. He said his mom offered to take Mila for one night. He asked if I was okay with that. I said yes, too fast. Ethan looked at me for a long second, like he was measuring my speed. Then he said he might be around more than I expected this week. He said plans changed. He said it in a calm voice that did not invite questions. I pretended not to care. I said fine. I said he could do whatever he wanted. But after he turned off the light, I lay there staring at the ceiling, and my mind would not stop. I could still see that disturbed guest bed. I could still hear that locked drawer click. I could still feel the unknown call buzzing in my hand. I told myself I was not afraid. I told myself Ethan was not that kind of man. And still, I held my phone under the blanket and checked my call log again, like the screen might confess something I did not want to say out loud. The day of our anniversary felt like a stage, and I walked on it like I owned it. I acted normal in the morning. I made Mila's breakfast. I signed a school note. I kissed Ethan's cheek like a habit. I told myself habits were not lies. I told myself they were proof I was still a good wife. Ethan asked what I wanted to do that night. He asked it while he rinsed a plate, calm like always. I said I did not care. I said he could do whatever he planned. He nodded and said he could make a dinner at home, simple and quiet. I said I did not want quiet for our anniversary. I said quiet was what we had every day. He asked what I wanted instead. I said he should already know. He did not argue. He just said okay and asked if I could pick Mila up because he needed to run an errand. I said I would. He thanked me like I was doing him a favor. That tone made me mad. I wanted him to feel lucky, not comfortable. At work, Cassidy hovered around my desk like it was her job. She asked if tonight was the night. I said yes. She asked if I was nervous. I said no. I said Ethan would be away or busy, like always. Cassidy said I should post a photo to prove I was living. She said men learned faster when they saw you move on. I told myself I was not doing it to punish Ethan. I told myself I was doing it to save myself. Still, my mind kept circling that word, prove. Logan texted around noon and asked what time we were meeting. I told him 7. He asked if I was sure Ethan was gone. I said yes, even though I did not check. I did not want to check. Checking would mean I cared about truth more than my plan. After work, I drove home and changed clothes. Mila was at Ethan's mum's house for a sleepover, to help us celebrate. That was Ethan's idea. He said it was good for Mila to have a fun night with her grandmother. I agreed too fast because it made my night easier. The house felt quiet without Mila. It felt like a hotel, clean and hollow. I walked through the kitchen and noticed 2 mugs on the counter, placed far apart. I noticed the shredder bin looked fuller than usual. I told myself Ethan was just organizing his work papers. I told myself he was always organizing something. Ethan came down the stairs with his jacket on. He asked where I was going. I said I had a work dinner for an HR issue. I used the same phrase again because it had worked before. He asked which restaurant. I said I did not know yet. He asked who was going. I said a few people. He asked if I could text him when I arrived. I sighed and said he was acting like my manager. He said he was not trying to control me. He said he just wanted to know I was safe. I said I was fine and I did not need a babysitter. He looked at me for a moment and then nodded. He did not follow me. He did not block the door. He just stepped aside, like he was letting a stranger pass. That made me feel bold and insulted at the same time. In the driveway, I checked my phone. Logan said he was already downtown. He said he booked a table at an upscale place with candles and live music. He said it would feel real. I liked that word. I wanted real, even if I had to steal it. On the drive, I practiced my story. If Ethan got upset later, I would say he pushed me away. If he asked why, I would say he ignored me. If he brought up Mila, I would say I stayed for Mila as long as I could. I lined up my reasons like shields. At the restaurant, Logan stood when I arrived. He smiled wide, like he was proud to be seen with me. He asked if I looked beautiful for him. I said I dressed for myself. That sounded strong, and I liked it. The waiter asked if we were celebrating. Logan said it was an anniversary. My stomach flipped when he said it out loud. I told myself it was fine. I told myself anniversaries were just dates, and I could choose what the date meant. Logan asked if Ethan texted me. I said Ethan would not bother. Then my phone buzzed, like it wanted to correct me. Ethan asked if I arrived and if everything was okay. The message was polite and short. I showed Logan and laughed like it was nothing. Logan said Ethan sounded desperate. I said Ethan always pretended to care at the wrong time. I replied that I was fine and the dinner was going long. Ethan replied with one word. Okay. That should have made me relax. It did not. It felt like a door closing. Logan talked too loud after his second drink. He asked if I would leave Ethan soon. I said I did not know. He asked if Ethan ever touched me like a man. I said Ethan treated me like a roommate. I made it sound harsh because harsh sounded honest. I watched other couples around us. Some looked bored, some looked happy. I told myself I deserved what they had. I told myself Ethan kept it from me. When we left, Cassidy sent a message asking for photos. I sent a picture of my dessert plate, nothing else. She replied with hearts and said I should go all the way. I told her she was crazy, but I liked that she wanted me to be fearless. Logan offered to walk me to my car. He asked if we should go back to his place. I said no. I said I wanted to end the night clean. The truth was I wanted to go home and feel like I beat the system. In the parking garage, my phone buzzed again. This time, it was no caller ID for a second time. I stared at it and my mouth went dry. Logan asked if I was okay. I said it was spam. Logan said I looked pale. I said I was just tired. On the drive home, I imagined Ethan packing a suitcase like he said he would. I imagined him asleep on the couch, sad, clueless. I needed that image. It made my choices feel safe. When I turned onto our street, I saw Ethan's car in the driveway. The porch light was on. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I told myself he was probably just grabbing something before leaving. I told myself not to panic. Logan followed me in his car because I let him. I told myself it was fine because Ethan was supposed to be gone. I told myself it was my house too. We walked up the front steps. I opened the door like I belonged there. I laughed softly and told Logan to be quiet, like it was a silly secret. Inside, the living room light was on. Ethan was sitting in the armchair, fully dressed, shoes on, hands resting on his knees. His face was calm. Not cold, calm. Like he had been waiting, not hoping. Logan stopped behind me. I felt his breath change. I tried to speak first, but my throat went tight. Ethan looked at me and then at Logan. He did not shout. He did not move fast. He asked who Logan was. I said it was not what it looked like. Ethan asked what it was then. I said Logan was a co-worker, and I was helping him with something. Logan did not say anything. He stared at the floor. Ethan nodded slowly. He asked if I wanted to keep lying, or if I wanted to be honest. I said he was twisting things. I said he was always suspicious. I said he drove me to this. Ethan stood up, still calm. He said he would not fight in the house. He said he would handle it properly. The next morning, Ethan did not block the door. He did not shout. He did not threaten Logan. He asked Logan to leave, calm and clear. Logan hesitated, then stepped back like he suddenly remembered he was in someone else's life. I told Logan to wait outside. I said Ethan was acting crazy. Logan did not argue, but his eyes avoided mine. Ethan asked if I wanted Mila to see a scene. I said Mila was not even there, like that made it harmless. Ethan said Mila always felt things, even when she was not in the room. He asked if I could pack a small bag and stay with my mother for the night. I asked if he was kicking me out. He said he was not doing anything illegal. He said he was making space and keeping the home calm. He said he would handle it properly, and his voice stayed flat. I told him he was being dramatic. I said it was one mistake. I said he never cared about romance anyway. Ethan asked if I wanted to keep talking, or if I wanted to sleep. I said I wanted to talk, but I only wanted to talk if he admitted he caused it. Ethan said he would not debate blame at midnight. He said we could do it in a structured way later. That word, structured, made me feel small. I hated it. I slept at my mother's place, but I did not sleep much. My mother asked what happened. I told her Ethan surprised me and embarrassed me. I did not say why he was waiting. I made it sound like Ethan was the attacker, like he set a trap. My mother asked if Ethan had been spying. I said yes. I said he was controlling. Saying it out loud made it feel true for a moment. In the morning, Danny came over with coffee and anger. She said Ethan was trying to ruin my life. She said I should take Mila and leave Ethan first. I said Ethan would not let me. Danny said I should post about it before Ethan could. I almost did. My thumb hovered over my phone, ready to shape the story. Then Ethan texted me, calm again. He said Mila was safe and at his mum's house. He said he would meet me at the building lobby at noon to exchange Mila's backpack and talk about a schedule. He said it would be quick. I read the message 3 times. It sounded like a work email. That made me furious. I wanted him to sound broken. I wanted proof that I mattered enough to destroy him. Instead, he wrote like a man making a plan. At noon, I walked into the lobby with my head high. I wore sunglasses even though it was cloudy. Logan was there too, because I told him to come. I said I needed a witness. The truth was I wanted backup. I wanted someone to look at Ethan and see him as the bad guy. Ethan was already there near the concierge desk. His mother stood a few steps behind him with Mila's backpack in her hands. Marisol did not glare at me. She looked past me, like I was not worth the effort. The concierge nodded at Ethan like they had already spoken. That small detail hit me in the stomach. Ethan asked if I was ready to keep things calm. I said I was calm. I said he was the one making a public show. Ethan said he was doing the opposite. He said public places kept everyone respectful. He looked at Logan and asked who he was, again. Logan said he was a co-worker. Ethan said okay, like it did not matter. I tried to start my speech. I said Ethan had neglected me for years. I said he traveled and ignored me and made me lonely. I said he was punishing me now because he wanted control. Ethan did not argue. He asked if I had the car seat base for Mila. I froze because it was such a normal question. I said yes. Ethan nodded and said good. A woman in a plain jacket walked toward us and asked for me by full name. She said she needed to confirm my identity. I asked who she was. She said she was there to serve documents. Her tone was neutral, like she served groceries. My hands went cold. I looked at Ethan, waiting for him to look guilty. He did not. He looked tired, but steady. The woman asked me to take an envelope. I said I was not taking anything. She said she could place it at my feet and note that I refused. The concierge watched without moving. Logan stepped back like the air changed. Ethan said I should take it so Mila's day could stay normal. He said he was not here to fight. He said he was here to finish the first step. I grabbed the envelope like it burned. I opened it right there because I needed control back. The first page had my name, Ethan's name, and words that looked too official to be a bluff. My eyes jumped to the bold lines. It said divorce filing. It said temporary orders effective immediately. It said the home was for Ethan's use for now. It said I could not drain accounts or move money. It said a custody schedule started tomorrow morning, with pickup times already set. My throat closed as I realized the schedule did not ask my opinion at all.